sitting up here letting these men gas y'all up, telling you what he wants. What the fuck do you want? What about your life? You actually want to just sit at home and be a stay-at-home wife or mom, have to ask this man when you need a box of fucking tampons, he has to ration money out to you like you're a fucking kid. Why would you want to put yourself in a position like that? Because, oh, I'm resting in my femininity. I'm telling you, you resting in my femininity chicks are going to end up on your ass. I'm trying to tell you. If you don't have your own resources, if you ain't got your own money, your own account that you stashing money in, that nigga don't know nothing about, if you smart, if you get it, you get it. If you know, okay? Because the one thing we know is that these men will leave you high and dry once they find something that they think is better.
That was how foolishly I sold my car that I just got. Because he didn't want me to have that car. So like, this man would my...
So go watch the rest of that video on her channel for more context. But basically, it's just yet another example of women being left by a man, their husband or whoever, to raise kids by themselves. I see these stories everywhere. They're all over social media. I know plenty of women like this in real life, have known throughout the years, that found themselves in this situation or a situation similar. Let me say this. I'm going to keep saying this on my channel because I really want it to get through women's heads. You must have your own at all times. Don't let some man talk you into taking over your finances or taking over the business or adding his name to a deed on a house that you bought by yourself and all this other nonsense. I'm trying to tell you, it almost never turns out to benefit you in the end as the woman. I don't know what it's going to take. A lot of women are in their soft girl era, or they want to rest in their femininity and all this other stuff. Listen, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that as long as you have your own, right? I never, ever in my life have been with a man who didn't make more money than me, therefore he paid the bills. However, I always fucking worked. I always had my own money. I dated a rich man back in my early to mid 20s. We were together for almost 4 years. And this man was rich. Okay? Like millionaire rich. And I still worked. People thought I was crazy. People thought I was lying about stuff. I'm like, that man has options. He could drop me at any second. I'm not trying to be funny. I ended up breaking up with him because we couldn't agree on the whole kid thing. I'm like, I don't want kids. And he wanted at least one baby. He was very successful in his career. He was further along in his life. He had a lot of years on me. There was a big age gap. So he was ready for things that I wasn't ready for. And ultimately was a decent guy. I never in a million years would have ever expected him to be a deadbeat dad or anything like that. I just didn't want children, you know. But I have plenty of story times about him and I. So if y'all want to hear some story times with us, oh my God, some of them are funny, some of them are crazy. But I still always have my own money. Like at the end of the day, he took care of everything. I have to pay bills. I have to do anything. Along with all the other guys that I dated that were not rich. They were just average guys but they still made more money than me. But I always had my own money. And the thing is that my mom and my dad, when I was growing up, always said, don't you ever be dumb and depend on no man. My dad told me that, as well as my mother. Okay? My mother always said, a man can love you today and be gone tomorrow. So always have your own shit. My mama told me that a lot of times throughout my life, starting at the age of 7. Okay? So we had that same conversation many more times up until my mom died in 2005. Okay? I had just turned 20 years old, right? I've always known not to be lazy. And here's the thing with the soft girl era and the resting in the femininity thing. A lot of those women are lazy. I'm sorry to say that, but a lot of them are just lazy. You want some man to lead you. I don't know why. I don't even know where that mindset even comes from, but whatever. You want a man to lead you. You want a man to just be in charge of everything. And it's like, girl, when that man gets tired of you, and it's not a matter of if, but when when he gets tired of you, when he gets bored. You know, I try to tell women all the time, doesn't matter how good you think your sex is. It doesn't matter how many wonderful things you do for this man. It doesn't matter how many wigs you switch, how many pieces of negligee you wear or whatever. At the end of the day, men get tired of effing the same pee. They just get tired of you. They will get tired. Do you understand? And at any moment when he gets tired, he can decide to stick it out. He can decide to cheat on you and just, hide that he's with other women, or he'll just flat out leave you. In any one of those circumstances, as a woman, you need to have your own resources. Even if you don't want to work, that's fine. If you don't want to work a 9 to 5 or whatever, do some at home shit. Like some, start a t-shirt business or something that you do from home. Something, you know what I mean? Even if it's only bringing you $500 a week and that's it. Stack that money. Be saving that money. Because I'm telling y'all, 99% of y'all are going to need that emergency fund when these men no longer have any use for you. We know that this is how most men operate. And I did a video before where all these women are like, oh, my man would never do that. He would never leave me in the dust. He would never leave me in the dust. And then as soon as you say that, that's exactly what they're going to do, because now you just jinxed yourself. Seriously, that's what they're going to do 9 times out of 10. And it's not necessarily because anybody's a bad person or anything. Men are just fickle like that. Even the so-called good guys will get tired of you. And what are you going to do after that? Keep jumping from man to man? Or is it best for you to have your own shit? I hate seeing stories like this because it's so avoidable. You don't even have to, you literally don't have to go through this. But you guys really want this fairy tale that doesn't exist. That's why so many women find themselves in this position. Because men leave you, men die suddenly in car accidents or fucking prostate cancer stage 4, randomly out of nowhere. Stuff happens. There are women who've been with rich guys who are doing very well in life, living the life, only to have a knock at their door one day and somebody coming in and seizing all their shit because you ain't know what type of illegal shit your husband was doing. Not a nigga in jail. I can't tell you how many times that's happened to women of all races. Mexican women. Oh, no, Mexican is not a race, but you know what I mean. Black people, white people. That happens to women in every race all across the world, where you look up and your husband has been in some bullshit. And not only is he going to jail, but they done seized everything that they thought that he spent the money that he stole or squandered or whatever, embezzled or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And now you're sitting up there your house getting foreclosed on. And you don't know where you're going to begin. You don't even know where to start. Don't find yourselves in these situations. Another thing with having these babies and stuff, don't have more kids than you are able to take care of on your own, because the time is going to come for most of y'all, 90-something% of y'all, where y'all gonna be doing that shit by yourself. The percentage goes up to high 90s if you're black. I'm not trying to be funny. I just left a comment under one of my videos. I can't remember which video it was, but we were joking. But I remember, I'm like, do y'all remember the song where 50 Cent was like, have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire? And I'm like, it's now have a baby by a black man, be a single mother. I hate to say that, but that's typically what is going to end up happening. And there are a lot of guys who hear me say that and they get mad. And I'm like, are you with any of your baby mamas? 100% of them are not. So that's my point. It doesn't matter what happens in life. It doesn't matter how it ended or ended up being in that position or whatever. The point is the shit is going to happen sooner or later. And what are you going to do? How are you going to be able to take care of 5 kids by yourself? A lot of y'all can barely take care of 5 kids with a man in the house, especially those of you who are married single mothers. But even if you're not a married single mother and your husband is very hands-on, the income that it takes to raise one person, let alone 5, and then a spouse or 3 kids or whatever, come on now. And whatever they perceive to be better than you, body wise, look wise, money wise, career wise, submission wise, whatever it is that they're looking for, once they deem that you are yesterday's news, it's a wrap for you. And it's even more of a wrap if you ain't got shit to show for all the times that you've been with this nigga. I'm trying to tell y'all, y'all gotta get smart. Forget this resting in your femininity shit. Forget that. And I'm gonna tell you something. I rest in my femininity every day. You know how? Because I depend on myself. I would not be able to rest in my femininity depending on a man. I would be on eggshells. I would be stressed because I would be thinking to myself, when is this nigga gonna switch up? When he gonna flip the script? Because they always do. They always do. Sooner or later, they switch up on you. There's no way. There is no way I will be able to rest in my femininity or be in my soft girl era depending on no man. Like, that is the most frightening thing. I don't even understand how y'all don't see how frightening that is. Like, a lot of y'all have to find out the hard way, and that's the unfortunate part. But that's why I'm here, and other women on YouTube or other places are here to tell you, you better have your own shit. If you want to sit around and wake up every day and not have to worry about nothing and let some man take care of you, fine. Like I said before, that's cool. Just make sure you have plan B, C, D, E, F, and sometimes G, okay? Because that's going to save you in the long run when, not if, when these men decide that they're tired of you, when they're bored, when you're no longer young, beautiful, youthful, and have the ability to procreate. Like I said in another video, the 3 things that men value in women, according to them, their words, not mine. I've gotten this from men my whole life. When you are no longer young, because we all get older, when you're no longer as beautiful because our beauty fades, and when you can't procreate because we all go through menopause, what do you think is going to happen when that man sees you as some old hag that's yesterday's news? And y'all sitting up here like, I don't have to work. I'm not going to work myself into exhaustion. You don't have to work yourself into exhaustion, but you need to be working in some way, shape, or form for when, not if, but when that man gets tired of you. And I'm going to keep saying this on my channel. Probably every video, I'm going to, just a constant reminder, have your own. Like, literally. Because I need y'all to get this. Like I said, there's no way I would be comfortable sitting around being a grown dependent. Like, a man can literally file my grown ass on his taxes like I'm a 12-year-old because I ain't got shit. I'm a broke bitch. I gotta ask you for a fucking box of tampons or a pair of shoes. And I gotta wait for you to ration money out to me and tell me what I need and what I don't need. You know what I mean? Like, how do y'all even feel comfortable like that? Are some of y'all missing y'all dads and y'all wanted y'all dad to tell y'all no when y'all were growing up and he wasn't around? I'm just trying to understand, why would you want to put your, like, livelihood, your health, and everything in the hands of another dying human being? You guys revere these men like they're some kind of a god, and they can't even give birth, and you can. Like, they're not God. They're not some kind of a deity. I'm not religious, but you get what I'm saying? Like, they're not any of this. They're another dying human being. These motherfuckers is gonna croak one day just like you, just like everybody else. And y'all sitting up here putting these men on pedestals. Why are y'all doing that? And most of the time, in most cases, we don't know when we gonna be taken out. We don't know when that's gonna happen. Y'all sitting up here putting all y'all trust and energy and money and resources and your health and all that into the hands of a man who could suddenly just die in a car accident tomorrow, who can suddenly drop dead from fucking colon cancer, stage 4 colon cancer, because his ass wasn't going to get his colon checked. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do y'all really stop to think about this? This man could just get hit by a bus next week. And you're like, oh, I'm going to put all my trust in him and I'm going to let him lead me. What the fuck does that even mean? Anyway, what is this whole leading? Why y'all need to be led? Aren't you grown as fuck? Aren't you a grown ass woman? Didn't you come in this world by yourself? Ain't you leaving this bitch by yourself? And you sitting up here wanting to put your trust in the hands of another human being that's going to croak over randomly out of nowhere just like you. That makes no sense. But I don't think y'all really take the time to think about that. But anyway, I didn't want this video to be this long. If you like the type of stuff I talk about, like, share, comment, subscribe, the whole shebang. I like talking about this stuff because I like bringing awareness to women. Because I know every woman doesn't have or didn't have a mother or aunties or best friends or whatever who was up on game, who can teach them some shit. So that's why we're here. I'm getting older. I feel like as we get older, it is our job to pay it forward to the young women coming up behind us. That's just my own personal thing. I think it would be cruel for me to know things and not share it. with people who obviously need this information. The patriarchy got y'all out here believing that you need a man to survive. You don't. You never did. Women never did. Okay? We never did. They forced us to need them by doing a whole bunch of stuff and then taking your resources that nature gave us, right? Basically. Like, we're out here paying for water. Why are we paying for water? The earth gives us water. It's supposed to be free. But anyway, they took that and many other things and then made us pay for it, and we had to depend on them. That's what happened. We never needed them. My truck is about to be loaded. I'm going to end this video here. Think about what I said. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll check y'all in the next one.